Hello everyone, so today we will take a look at modern day sharks versus prehistoric sea animals. I'll be telling you guys all the facts about all these wonderful creatures, so let's get right into it. Alright guys, so let's begin. Okay, the first one right here, let's take a look at the Goblin shark. Do you guys know that Goblin sharks, they are actually extremely rare? They are said to be a living fossil which existed like 150 million years ago. So there aren't many of them around right now. They're actually under conservation status, which is quite rare. Okay, so this is actually a Goblin shark, and you can see it has a very interesting face. So whenever it approaches some prey like little fish, the mouth will actually stretch out front and try to eat them. They look kind of ugly in a way, because if you compare them with the great whites, they actually do look very weird. Okay, next, another creature right here is actually the ghost shark. Ghost sharks are actually not sharks. They are related to sharks, they are related to rays, but they're not actual sharks, okay? They are a form of like cartilage sea animal, okay? So that's the ghost shark for you, okay? Let's move on. We have a prehistoric shark right over here. This is actually known as a Megalodon. I love this figure. It has been with me for like many years. So the Megalodon is actually like 10 times bigger than a great white shark, okay? So they are actually extremely big. This prehistoric shark is no longer existing, it is already extinct. Okay, so let's move on. Let's take a look at another prehistoric animal. This is actually a Mosasaurus. It is not a fish, it is not exactly like a sea animal, because it is a prehistoric marine reptile. I mean, you can still call it an animal. So Mosasaurus is actually known as the lizard of the Neuse River. Okay, so yep, it is actually one of my most favorite prehistoric sea creatures out there. Okay, moving on. We have a modern day sea animal right over here, and this is actually known as a hammerhead shark. Do you guys know that hammerhead sharks, they actually use their hammerhead to press down, for example, their prey like stingrays and rays? So while they feed on them, the mouth is actually right over here, so they would just use the head to press it down and feed on their prey. Okay, so that's the hammerhead shark right over here. I love sharks a lot. What about you guys? Let me know down below. Okay, moving on. Let's take a look at another prehistoric animal. This is actually known as a Plesiosaurus. And if you take a look at this, it actually looks like a Mosasaurus, right? But it is actually a prehistoric whale. Yeah, that is very incredible. Moving on. This is another Megalodon figure. So you guys can see Megalodon, they actually has different rows of teeth, and they have the ability to actually lose a tooth and grow it back. So that's pretty incredible. That's another incredible fact for you. So Megalodon, this is another Megalodon. Okay. Moving on, we have another Mosasaurus. So if you guys have watched Jurassic World, you would have noticed that the Jurassic World, Mosasaurus actually sprang out of the water and grabbed hold of the Indominus Rex and just dragged him into the water. So Mosasaurus is a really huge prehistoric sea creature. Yeah, so they are really ferocious. They are like the king of the seas. I mean, back then for sure. Okay, let's move on. Another prehistoric marine reptile right over here, which looks very similar to a Mosasaurus, is actually known as a Kronosaurus. It is a type of mosasaur as well, which is very closely related to the Mosasaurus. They are, of course, extremely huge. You can see they have like 4 flippers, which can actually propel them at very fast speed. Okay, so this is another one of things. Oh, this is actually a Tylosaurus, which is also very closely related to the Mosasaurus. Okay, moving on. We have a lemon shark right over here. So you can see this particular species of shark, it has a skin color which is kind of yellowish. Yep, so this is why the name actually came about, lemon shark. Another shark right over here is actually a basking shark. So you can see the mouth is actually wide open. So this is basically for it to take in all the water. Okay, it will just suck in all the water and filter out all the small food particles in the water. For example, like krill, some microorganisms, and feed on them. Okay, so that's a basking shark for you. Moving on, I'm going to show you guys a couple of prehistoric fish, which is known as Dunkleosteus. So these two right here are actually armored fish. You can see they have armor on its body, so they form a kind of protective covering against other predators. Yep. Dunkleosteus, they no longer exist. Okay, they are already extinct. This is another one right over here. So I'm a huge fan of Dunkleosteus, to be honest with you. So I'm collecting like different Dunkleosteus figure. Moving on, we do have another goblin shark figure right over here. So I've told you guys that goblin sharks, they are actually very rare to find, and they can only be found like really deep in the ocean waters, and there aren't many of them around anymore. Yeah, so they are actually quite rare, very rare in fact. Okay, moving on. This is another prehistoric marine reptile, which is known as a Tylosaurus. So I've basically shown you guys just now, and talk about this, prehistoric marine reptiles. So they actually look like lizards to me. Okay, like prehistoric lizards swimming in the water. Okay, let's move on. Let's take a look at this. This is another hammerhead shark, just a different color. So they are actually different colors when it comes to sharks up there. Okay, blue sharks right here. I've actually read some facts about the blue shark. They are not aggressive, but they are very curious sharks. So they will actually approach divers, because they're curious to get to know them. But there have been no attacks recorded for now of blue sharks on humans. Okay, let's move on. Great white sharks, definitely there will definitely be records of attacks on humans, and they have a very keen sense of smell. They can actually smell blood from miles away, so they are very alert to the smell of blood. Okay, so we have plenty of great whites, another one right here. So usually when you see a great white, the body is like full of scars because they can be quite clumsy when they're swimming against in the water. Sometimes they might brush against other like rocks and stuff like that. Okay, moving on, another Mosasaurus figure. So you can see the Mosasaurus has a very long tail, and this tail is actually very strong. You can actually like swing sideways and propel the Mosasaurus to great speed. Okay, awesome stuff. We have two tiger sharks right over here. As you guys can see, this shark basically has stripes that resembles the stripes of a tiger, which is why they are actually known as tiger sharks. Moving on, another basking shark figure. So you can see most of the basking sharks, they have their mouth wide open at all times, which is very incredible, I would say. So Megalodon, you can see this Megalodon right over here. It has 3 rows of teeth, 3 rows on top and 3 rows behind. So yeah, they have multiple rows of teeth, and each tooth can be replaced if they go missing. I mean, if they go missing when they are attacking other animals, so they may just lose a teeth while biting or chewing. Okay, moving on, we have a sawfish right here. So they basically use this tool to actually catch its prey. Yeah, so I think they use it like a saw. I'm not too sure how they use it. Okay, right over here we have an Elasmosaurus, which is also a prehistoric marine reptile. So you can see it has a very long neck, and this long neck will actually enables it to catch fish really easily. So just imagine there's like a school of fish right in front of this sea animal. So you just basically just dive in and just move around the neck, and be able to catch fish really easily. This is another one. I think this is a Plesiosaurus, but the neck is like slightly shorter. Okay. This is another Megalodon, which is a really beautiful sea animal. I think I rate the Megalodon as one of my most favorite prehistoric sea creatures. What about you guys? Let me know down below. Okay, we have more Mosasaurus right over here. Okay, so this is another one. We have plenty of Mosasaurus. In fact, Mosasaurus is actually my most favorite prehistoric marine reptile, which is why I have collected many of the figures. Yeah. Okay. Moving on. Let's see. Oh, Megamouth shark. Megamouth shark is another shark which is extremely rare that can only be found like really deep in the ocean waters. I mean, if you go and Google like Megamouth shark, you can't really find too many videos of it because they are so hard to spot, so hard to locate. Okay. Let's move on. Fruit shark right over here. So you can see this shark, it looks very different. It has plenty of gills which are really visible, and it has a very long body. So the mouth is like really wide. So this is a fruit shark right over here. Okay. Let's see what else we've got. Another Dunkelostis. So you guys can see the Dunkelostis was a huge prehistoric fish. You can see the jaw is like covered with like really hard armor. So yeah, a very interesting looking prehistoric fish. What is this, guys? This is actually a Halicoprion, which is a prehistoric sea creature. What is so special about this sea animal is that if you take a look at the jaw, it looks like a rotary blade. Yeah, this is very interesting. Okay, it looks like a shark, but I don't think it is a shark. I need you guys to research down below, and research and comment down below. Let me know whether a Halicoprion it's a shark or not. Okay. Let's move on. Let's see. We have a shark ray right over here. Okay, it's a really beautiful figure. More hammerheads right over here, as you guys can see. And this is a Tylosaurus, so you can see it has a very powerful and long tail. And of course, just by swiping the tail, not swiping, just by moving the tail sideways, it's able to like glide through the water really fast and smoothly. This it's a short fin mako shark. Okay, you can see it has a very aerodynamic body, and this shark can swim at really fast speed. Hammerhead shark baby figure. Okay, nice, very adorable looking. This it's a sand tiger shark. If you take a look at the skin texture, you can see there are like plenty of brown spots on its body. And when it comes to the colors, it is slightly brownish in tone, which looks like sand tiger shark. This it's a great white shark. I really love this, how they've actually illustrated this great white. So the face looks kind of gruesome. Okay. Another Goblin shark figure. This it's an Elasmosaurus, which is the prehistoric marine reptile that I've shown you guys. So it has a very long neck, really powerful long neck. We have two Leopleurodon right over here. I think they are closely related to the Mosasaurus as well, prehistoric marine reptile. You can see they have outward pointing teeth, which looks very weird. Okay, and this one right here, it should be a Kronosaurus. Oh, what is this? Oh my goodness. I can't remember the name of this. I really can't remember. I need the help of you guys. I'll come back to this later on, okay? Another great white shark figure. Basking shark. Hammerhead shark. Okay. This is known as the oceanic white-tip reef shark. Oceanic white-tip reef shark. You can see at the tip of all the fins, you can see there's a slight gradual white tone right at the top. This one right here is actually a nurse shark. So you can see two fang-like structures right in front of the mouth, which is very significant. So you can easily recognize this by these two little fangs. Another great white shark. I think this is a pointer shark if I'm not wrong. Mosasaurus. This is my most favorite Mosasaurus figure in my collection. You can see it has a very shiny texture, and the shiny texture actually resembles the skin surface of a fish. And this one right here is actually a Mosasaurus. A Plesiosaurus, another prehistoric marine reptile. Great white. This is known as a Hydrotherosaurus. You can see it has a neck which is very similar to the Plesiosaurus and the Elasmosaurus, which is really long. This is a huge prehistoric animal. Okay, Kronosaurus. This is a thresher shark. You can see this shark has a very long and pointed tail, so you can easily recognize this. They are able to swim at really fast speed as well. This is known as a robber gang. You can see the teeth like pointing outwards. A small little sawfish. Okay. What is this? This is actually known as a Cephectinus, which is a prehistoric fish. Another great white. This is known as a sailfish. Okay. This is a mako shark. You can see it has a very pointed snout as compared to many other sharks out there. This is a grey reef shark, so you can see they are like slightly smaller in size, and they are very dark in color as well, very dark grey. This is a great white. Okay, this great white looks a little bit too inaccurate for me. I think the snout right over here is a bit too pointed. This is the Megamouth shark, one which we have talked about later just now. They are extremely rare, and they can only be found like really deep in the ocean water. This is a zebra shark. It gets its name from its stripes that resembles the stripes on a zebra. I think this is the pointed shark that we have taken a look at just now. Another great white. This is the black-tipped reef shark. Okay, you can see all the fins are covered with black color. I mean, not covered. It's actually black in color at the tip area. Looks very interesting. Another shark ray. This is a white-tipped reef shark. This is a Plesiosaurus, which is another prehistoric marine reptile. So they do look kind of similar to the previous prehistoric marine reptiles like the Mosasaurus, Kronosaurus, Tylosaurus. This is known as a dolly currycorpse. Very interesting name, very long name as well. It has a very long snout that enables it to actually catch its prey very easily. 4 very strong flippers. This is a bull shark. So bull sharks are known to be quite aggressive. They are known to be more aggressive than great whites. There are more records on attacks on humans than great whites. I think this one is a zebra shark. I'm not exactly sure. This is a bonnet head shark, so you can see it also looks like a hammer, but way shorter than the the normal hammerhead sharks that we have seen, like this one right here. So this is like wider, but for this, the bonnet head shark, it is much narrower. This is a leopard shark, so I'm not too sure why it's called a leopard shark. Probably because of the patterns on his body. This one, it could be a zebra shark. It could be. I'm not exactly sure because it is very inaccurate. A great white for sure. And not a great white. This one right here is the scallop hammerhead shark. You can see there are like bumps and curves on the hammerhead, which you can't find on the hammerhead shark. Okay. This one right here is also a zebra shark, but I'm not too sure. Maybe they got the name wrong because it looks more like a leopard shark to me. Okay. This one, it's a bamboo shark. The front actually resembles a nurse shark, but the body, it has stripes that resembles the stripes on the bamboo, the patterns on the bamboo plant. Okay, and yeah, and the rest, this four, I'm not exactly sure what they are. This is a ghost shark for sure. This is probably a kind of carpet shark, and this one most likely it should be a bull shark. This one, it could be a blue shark. Okay, so that is all for today's video. I need the help of you guys to let me know down below what is the name of this prehistoric sea creature. I can't remember it, so I need the help of you guys. Thanks for watching this. Let me know down below what other animal facts you guys want me to know, or you guys want me to tell you, and I'll be happy to do it. Okay. Thanks for watching this, and I will see you guys in the next video. Goodbye.